Hi there, in this updated video we're taking a look at the Ritz ABC in Market Harborough, but this time with more info and pictures than the first video. We'll also take a peek of course at the two smaller cinemas that also operated in the town. So let's get underway. The Ritz Cinema Market Harborough was situated at 4-6 Northampton Road and was the last to be planned by the Union Cinemas circuit, as they were taken over by ABC, Associated British Cinemas, in October 1938. ABC completed this project. Now, the Ritz ABC Market Harborough opened on the 22nd of May 1939 with Cebu in The Drum. The opening ceremony was performed by Sir Arthur Hazelrig. The manager was Mr. F. Verner Walford, who came to the Ritz from the Empire in Derby. The Ritz had a rather simple frontage of red brick, broken only by a line of first-floor windows. It was built by Henry Martin of Northampton. The architect was William T. Benslin, and it seated 1,109 in total. The projection room as it was in 1939. The Ross Spotlight survived till the very end. The rest was changed over to Ross GC3 with peerless Magnarchs sometime later. Apparently, the Ross GC3s came from the Leicester Savoy ABC when they got the Philips updates for 70mm, and there's a video on the Savoy ABC in Leicester on this site. The Ritz Market Harborough had Westrex sound, and at a much later date, Cayley 12s replaced the Ross machines. CinemaScope arrived in 1955, but the Oriental Cinema in Market Harborough had scope before the Ritz. So let's have a quick look at the Oriental. Located in St Mary's Road, Market Harborough, the Oriental Cinema was opened on the 6th of June 1921 with Victor McLaglen in Call of the Wild. Now, the Oriental had 524 seats. Designed in Oriental style with dragons and scrolls, with painted panels in the auditorium depicting palm trees and oasis scenes. The proscenium was 22 feet wide and the stage 15 feet deep. Now, the stage was occasionally used for variety acts, and there was a reed organ as well as a piano and a small orchestra to accompany the silent films. It was equipped with a gyrotone sound system in December 1929, and the first talkie to be shown here was Al Jolson in The Singing Fool. A Western Electric sound system was installed in November 1931. In 1947 it was taken over and renamed Orion Cinema. Equipped with CinemaScope, the first film to play here in that format was The Robe on the 11th of July 1955. The Orion Cinema was closed on the 17th of January 1959 with Jack Palance in The Man Inside. It was converted into a dance hall and roller rink and had been demolished by 1992. So while we're at it, let's have a look at the Cinematograph, also in Market Harborough. A coffee house was built at 43 The Square in 1872, and at its rear was built the Philanthropic Hall, later known as the New Hall. It later started showing films and was known as the Cinematograph. It was taken over by United County Picture Halls Limited and converted into a proper cinema, opening on the 9th of November 1911 as the County Electric Palace. Seating for 600 was provided in stalls and circle levels. It was closed on the 10th of August 1912, modernised and renamed the County Cinema. The original coffeehouse entrance was demolished and a new entrance built. The stage was 12 feet deep and there were 2 dressing rooms. Now, in 1932 it was equipped with a gyrotone sound system which had previously been installed at the town's Oriental Cinema. After the outbreak of World War II in September 1939, the county was requisitioned by the government and was closed and used for storage. After 1945, when the war was over, it was converted into a dance studio and later became the MB Club, which hosted concerts by pop stars of the day. The foyer was converted into an antique shop, and in 1968 the building was demolished and a Woolworths store was built on the site. Getting back to our Ritz, ABC, the Ritz Cinema led a fairly uneventful life. Its name was finally changed to ABC proper in 1961 and later began a policy of part-time bingo and part-time films. In the presentation picture, the man in the black bow tie is Bill Brooks, long-time manager of the Ritz. Mrs. Davis was long-time chief cashier and later relief manager. In 1968, Mr. Goody was manager. Chris Hasman became a projectionist in 1967. The chief was Keith Woodford, and in 1968, Alex Naylor from Oakham was the second projectionist. Helga Husenrunter joined as a trainee projectionist in 1968. Other staff include Christine Scrace as an ice cream girl, and various members of the Whitlock family were usherettes, etc. Now Valerie Gray was in the sweets kiosk, and a later addition after a refit of the cinema was Ollie, the doorman. Now Market Harborough often flooded. The Welland River was not far away. Keith Woodford, the chief, got trapped in the cinema all night once because of a flood. The box, of course, had a slide lantern, and one of the slides was always used to announce that the flooding warning had just been sounded. When the ABC was set a closing date, Malcolm Beeson, a projectionist, started a petition gaining 4,500 signatures and sent it to his local MP. But the end of the Ritz ABC in Market Harborough came when it was closed on the 25th of April 1978 with Bruce Lee in Fist of Fury and the Amsterdam Kill. Here are a few pics from the closing night. On the last night, the projectionist was Bob Jenkins, and this image from the CTA shows Christine Bosworth, Sylvia Rasnell and Yvonne Revel. The manageress at this time was Val Gray. It was leased to Silverline Entertainments and became a bingo club, and it remained on bingo for just 4 years until 1982, when it was closed. The building remained empty for a while and was broken into once or twice. Youngsters used to congregate in there. One report even suggested that some were glue sniffing, which was a craze at the time. This photo shows the once proud cinema looking in a bit of a sorry state. Suggestions were made to save the building for entertainment use, possibly as a theatre, but these came to nothing, and eventually the building was converted into a quick save supermarket. Now the quick save closed in 2007, and it didn't take very long before voices were raised once again to bring back cinema use to the building, including one from 2 local girls who started a petition. It appeared to gain momentum. Even an Australian businessman put forward plans to bulldoze the old quick save site and build a brand new 5-screen cinema, but nothing came of that either. However, there were plans put forward to redevelop the site for housing and a retail unit, and the fate of the site was sealed and its demolition planned. During the stripping process at the start of the demolition, Chris Hasman, projectionist, got permission to visit the site and retrieve the old dimmer rack and the thermometer. Another item rescued from the front wall was about all that was left in the projection room. It was almost completely stripped when he arrived. Chris informs me that Helga Rosenhunter now owns the dimmer rack, and the thermometer, which is now on the wall of her lounge, is still working well. It has a mark on it that Keith Woodford, the chief, put on there all those years ago. Now, the poor old Ritz ABC was finally demolished in early November 2012. That's about it for this one. Don't forget to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. That helps me a lot. Till next time, be nice to each other, and I'll see you soon. Ta-da.